My name is Emerson Thompson, and I pledged the Orlando Alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi in 1983. And I am not an original member of the fraternity pledging through a college, because the college I graduated from, University of Florida, did not have a Kappa chapter when I was in school. And as I have always said, did Kappa pick me or did I pick Kappa? When I was coming up, the teachers and the men who influenced me when I was in junior high and high school and then in College of Law were all Kappas. I did not know it at the time. And so when I came here, my next door neighbor, Tim Duhart, was a Kappa, and he invited us to Kappa functions. And as they say, one thing led to another, and I was invited, or I would say encouraged, not threatened, to pledge, and several of us pledged at the same time.
My name is Ernest Pete Boyd. I finished Bethune-Cookman Bethune-Cookman College / University. I made the fraternity, initiated in 1957. In 1958, I became Polmark of the Gamma Theta chapter, which is an undergraduate chapter at Bethune-Cookman. In 59, I graduated in 1959. Took a job here in Orange County at a small school in Winter Garden called Charles R. Drew.
My name is Nat Stevens. I made Kappa in 1946 here in the Orlando Alumni chapter.
The charter member I knew best was Ben Hubert, and then I knew Brother Jackson, and vaguely I remember Brother Dudley. But the member who was a charter member that I knew best was Ben Hubert. Ben was very active when I joined and was very active up until the day he died. And we would meet at Murchison Terrace, where he was the executive director or manager of the facility. And so I got to know Ben, and when we would have Kappa picnics, we would fry fish and clean fish on the night before the picnic on Saturdays. So we'd all meet and clean fish and prepare the barbecue, ribs, etc., for the Saturday when we'd have the meeting. And that's when I found out that brothers would rather eat fish than barbecue, because we had fish for us and barbecue for the families and members. And I'll never forget, we were down at Moss Park, and everybody wanted fish and nobody wanted the ribs until all the fish was gone. So it was just an interesting relationship at that time.
Yeah. I knew the charter members. I knew Brother Dudley, Brother Jackson, Brother Refo, and Brother Ben Hubert. All of them were conservative. What I mean by conservative, Kappa Alpha Psi was everything by the book. They were the kind of guys that convinced me you don't need to think in Kappa Alpha Psi. All you got to do is do what Kappa Alpha Psi has there for you to do.
Advice in the chapter. Number one, communication. Communicate, and be present. You have to be a part. You know, it's all right to put on the paraphernalia, get your car tag and so forth, but Kappa means you're working to help your community. We strive to make our community better, and we want those brothers, you know, somebody pull us up by our bootstraps, and you got to remember that you didn't make it on your own. You got to be willing to give back. So I tell the young brothers, hey, you need to make sure you become a part of the chapter so that you can work and help someone else. We have a tendency to get kind of blazers. You know, sometimes we don't realize what an effect that has on a young person or those people coming behind. I can remember vividly how Brother Hubert would have Sunday school at his home in Washington Shores. And he invited us, young boys, out there playing and going on. And we would go over there and he would teach Sunday school. And you didn't realize at a particular time what effect that had on a 12, 14, 13-year-old kid. And these plaques were on the wall. We didn't know what it meant. But the idea that he took the time to reach out, because it was similar, it was mentoring, because he taught more than this Sunday school, everyday life, you know. He would tell us different things and how to be men, how to strive to be better, and how can you reach out to your community. We as brothers must continue to do that. We need to do that.
Impact. Gosh, the impact was great because the boys grew up as I had come into the chapter. I had the My Line group come over, put up a swing set for Christmas because of coming during that time. We were on the line for almost a year and a half during that time. And when I look at that, it either you were going to make it or you were not. I'm the only one from out of my group that has been active since making it in '81.
One of my most memorable experiences would be, again, the gatherings that we had, the cookouts that we actually had, and the silhouettes providing the desserts and helping their husbands with whatever tasks they may have to perform. And then, of course, the senior kids playing with other kids and enjoying it and seeing that it's wholesome fun and good fun. I mean, we stayed there for hours, all day. It didn't matter. We just had a good time. And with those relationships, they didn't just stop at the cookouts. Those relationships spilled over into other activities that were actually taking place. So the memorable experience would be just being together and being happy and seeing our sons and daughters with their fathers.